After the pandemic gave us the last kick and showed us how we don't want to live and how quickly people lose their minds and become just very weird, we made the biggest change in our lives and moved from Austria to Finland. We wanted to find a place here in the countryside where we don't have to care about those stupid people doing stupid things, a place where we can enjoy our lives so how we like it at most. We had some requirements and we found some really nice options, but at the end we decided to buy my grandma's old house. It wasn't an easy decision at first, but now it feels and felt then so right and so good. In this video, I'm gonna tell you the story about that journey. So we had been looking for 10 months at that time, and we knew that when we are ready to buy something, then there will be some really nice options for us, but we still weren't quite sure if we can find the perfect one. Of course, we know that there is no such a thing as perfect thing, but something where the feeling is right from the very beginning. There will always be some things missing and nothing can give you everything, but if the right feeling is not there, then it can't just come afterwards. It has to be there. Then we got a surprising message that my grandma doesn't want to live in the countryside anymore, and if we are interested to buy it. And at first I was like, no way, I don't want to buy anything from relatives, because it's just so much easier to buy something from a stranger. You just go there and say, yes, it looks good, you make your bill of sale, and then you say bye, and you don't see these people ever again, probably, and you can change everything there and you can make everything you want without having to think that if something was important for someone or so, because they are not gonna know it anyhow. Sometimes people also have some weird thoughts about prices and so on when there is this sentimental value in it, and without any looking what are actually the prices nowadays and so on. So that was also one thing where I said that okay, then we don't have to buy it, because I just didn't want to argue with anyone. We just wanted to have our peace and quiet for what we came to Finland. So but that place is something special. I have loved it since I was born. I have spent there a lot of time, and even as a teenager I love to come there and spend some peaceful time in the nature. And as my husband was there for the first time, for him it was like unrealistic, that how can somebody live like that? It's just so beautiful there. And our kids have loved it also. Every time when we were spending holidays in Finland, we were spending time there with my grandma. That's why I didn't say immediately no, even though I was thinking that it would be just much easier just to say no. But we have never, of course, looked it with this buyer's eyes, because we, of course, never thought that we would be the ones who are gonna buy it. But after that, it happened a lot of things, and a lot of people said many things. And long story short, some relatives had indeed some weird thoughts and so on, but after long harm and toil, we then finally found a solution that pleases everyone, and we were actually really happy and couldn't believe, and still can't somehow, that that place is gonna be our home. That after all that drama and searching, we finally made it. But how is it then? It's of course not perfect, but there are some things which were really important for us, which you can't have afterwards. But there is a lot to do. In October, I made a video about our most important requirements, what we would like to have, and now we can go the list one after one. So, location, not too high. Yes, it's in central Finland, so the growing zone 3 about, maybe. House on a little hill. Yes, it is on a little hill, and there are also hills everywhere. It's not too flat. At least 2 hectares. There is exactly 2 hectares, but there is not that much trees, and so we don't have any forest yet, but it shouldn't be a problem to buy more land. No neighbors too near. Yes. Dead end. Yes. Not longer than 30 minutes to school. Yes. No big streets and cities and so on. Yes. Nature. Yes, there is a lot of nature. Real winter. Yes. Access to water. Yes, there is a lake and a stream. Then other buildings. This is where we made our cut, because the stable, there is a stable or a barn, and it unfortunately cannot be saved anymore. It's a pity, but sometimes it is like that. But the other building, in Finnish you say rihi or aitta, it needs to be renovated. It needs a new deck, and it has to be so you have to get it up again, but otherwise it looks good. But it's a project for the very first summer. Then greenhouse. Yes, actually there is even another room attached to the house. Then the most important, the house itself, it has no big problems. The deck isn't that old. There is a new well. There is even a solar system on the roof. There are 5 fireplaces in the house, and the shower and the sauna, they are actually in a separated building outside of the house, which is also great. And it's also right size with an extra space for guests. That was also a bit difficult in Finland to find a place which is not too small and not too big. In October, I said the price has to be under 300,000, but then, like I told in 2 videos ago or something like that, that we found places for under 100,000 euros. So that was, of course, a thing which we didn't want to pay, because, like I said, there are some things which require a lot of money, like the stable. That's why we were really happy that we didn't pay more than 70,000. And the house itself has a really interesting history. Nobody is quite sure when it was built. Some papers say 1920, but there are notes where you can also see older years. But at first it was a part of a bigger house until 1935. And at that time, the big house was divided into 2 parts for 2 brothers, and the older or younger, I don't know anymore, stayed with one part in that place where this house, and that house is still there, and the other brother took the other half of the house with him and went there where our house is now. So you can still see the old markings in the walls, because my grandma always thought that they tell the history of the house, and I think also that it's just very interesting and beautiful. So there's a lot of things to see and to show you, but I'm gonna make it in a later video so that I can show you everything. It's a very beautiful thing with some real history and the real feeling, exactly like we wanted. And there are also gonna be some many projects coming on, so stay tuned if you are interested into something like that, the stable and in some rooms there is still plastic carpet, so it's also going to be interesting to make it a way to see what's under it and this kind of stuff. Otherwise, I hope you liked this video, and if you got some questions or whatsoever, then just write me a comment. And we'll see in the next video. Bye bye.